I'm going to start with a question for you. When you got out of college, you had a pretty good idea, in fact, even when you got out of high school, pretty good idea of what you wanted to do for work when you settled in, right?
That's fair to say, yeah.
And
I ended up
broadcast
here.
journalism, that's what you wanted to do, and you knew that early.
Okay.
All right. I, on the other hand, had no idea, which would help explain why my first jobs after college were driving a cab and working as a bellhop. Here's a story about a young man who, like you, knew what he wanted to do in life, and he is making it happen. It's a Friday evening at the Westbrook Armory, and there's a certain charge in the air, a current of anticipation. 450 fans will be here tonight to take in 3 hours of professional wrestling, a show whose every detail is overseen by promoter Randy Carver. When he was growing up in the small town of LaGrange in Piscataquis County, he wanted to see live wrestling and see it often. And in eastern Maine, the options were limited.
The only independent shows were at bars. So as 8 or 9-year-old kid trying to convince your parents to bring you to a bar to watch pro wrestling, it's a tough argument.
We traveled around a lot and went to a lot of different shows. He learned a lot when we were doing that. So it was meant to be, I think.
At 15, Randy Carver started announcing for wrestling shows held at a restaurant in Brewer. But even then, he had bigger dreams. So you promoted your first wrestling show when you were how old?
18. I was 3 months out of high school and used all my graduation money for it.
Come on in.
Randy owns and runs Limitless Wrestling. It's his full-time job, a serious business.
Ready for some wrestling?
He can't remember. This is either the 42nd or 43rd wrestling show he has promoted. And he is 22 years old.
For him to sell out a building at 22, that's unheard of.
For 10 years, Lisa Marie Varon performed with the WWE, the major league of professional wrestling. Now, she's on her farewell tour.
I'm wrestling, 48, wrestling against 20-year-olds, and getting my butt kicked, I'll be honest with you, and not recovering as quickly as I used to.
It's a long way from Madison Square Garden, where Varon once wrestled, to the Westbrook Armory.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Awesome, thank you very much.
But she says she likes these small, independent shows.
It's more intimidating performing for a smaller crowd than a large crowd, because you can hear everything everyone says. You can kind of pick up what they're not getting, do you know what I mean? And so you have to turn it up and be able to improv inside the ring.
Check them out.
Wrestler D.L. Hurst was getting a trim before the show. Oddly enough, there's a barber who gives haircuts to fans and wrestlers alike. Hurst had no concerns about working for a promoter who's only 22.
It never came into my mind how old he was. I just knew he was a professional and he ran this place right. 1, 2, 3.
When Randy started promoting, people were skeptical, not just because he was only 18 years old, but because he was doing some new things, bringing in wrestlers from out of state, bringing in bigger names, trying to put on a more colorful and entertaining show. Davey Boy Smith Jr., another WWE alumnus, flew here all the way from Alberta, Canada.
Long travel day, but you get used to it as days go on.
What Randy has created with Limitless is something fans genuinely appreciate.
It's crazy. It's great. Thank you, man.
Perhaps no one is more grateful than Jessica Elsmore.
I am currently battling cancer. This is my third go with it. And when I first found this company, it was my first time going through it. And I found this, and it's been home ever since. This place literally has saved my life.
On the night of a show, the questions for Randy come rapid fire.
Yeah, just hit me up. Go to the front table. They might have something, I don't know.
No detail is too small.
No, you're fine. What's up?
Finally, it's showtime. One of the things you learn watching pro wrestling is the value of a dramatic entrance. Wait for it. The VIP tickets for this show cost $40 a piece. They sold out in 1 minute. The idea is to give the fans their money's worth right from the opening bell. As the matches unfold, Randy paces, taking in everything. Can you almost close your eyes and just listen and tell how the evening is going?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, watch this. They like that. You hear the oohs and the ahs.
The crowd loves it. But what's truly remarkable is how popular Limitless wrestling videos are on YouTube. This video alone has been viewed 22 million times. With the YouTube revenues from millions of clicks and merchandise and ticket sales, Randy turns fake wrestling into real money. Do you ever worry about that ring collapsing?
No. I mean, there's some pretty big boys in there who are bumping around in there, but no, I don't worry too much.
So where might this young business be in, say, 10 years?
I always say I think he'll be wherever he wants to take it. You know, it's limitless, isn't it?
If you're still unimpressed by this enterprise, remember Jessica Elsmore.
I started chemo back this past Monday, and today is the first day that I felt good sense, and I'm crediting this place. I woke up this morning just ready to be here and ready to be around the people I love. Like, this is my family. I love this place. They mean everything to me.
Who could ask for a better example of the uplift and inspiration we sometimes find in the unlikeliest of places? Limitless also runs a training school for wrestlers in Brewer and a sort of farm system in Orono. Last year, for the first time, it promoted a show in Connecticut, its first event outside of Maine, which gives you an idea of the opportunities the business has for expansion.
By the way, the next Limitless show in Maine is the Vacation Land Cup in Portland on July 12th. VIP and front row tickets for that show are already sold out. General admission tickets are still available. More information on newscentermaine.com/207 and our mobile app. And I know how excited you were to go cover that story, and it was really, really cool.
We had a good time there that evening.